14 Pro Tours. Guess what? Javier Dominguez, he was on the cusp of maybe not making it. He's still alive at 2 and 4. So the dream
He's got some work to do.
is alive, but
Because imagine the rub-ins, man. Like that's gonna motivate Javi more than anything. Forget the tens of thousands of dollars. Forget the trophy. The rub-ins from Ely. If he doesn't make day 2, man, it's gonna be real rough for Javier Dominguez.
He has done it 14 times in a row. He can do it another time, I'm sure.
Let's go. Come on, man.
All right, it's time for round number 7. We're going to pass it on over to Marshall and Paul with the call.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Welcome back to the booth. That's Paul Chian. I'm Marshall Seleka. Thanks so much for joining us. This is an interesting one, Paul. We have Espergores in the hands of Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, a deck that we're familiar with and that makes up a pretty sizable chunk of the metagame. But then this is one of the features of Modern is that there's little pockets of combo decks and decks that people specialize in. Jake Bailey has Samwise Gamgee combo in his hands, a deck you don't see very often. He's the only one playing it here.
Yeah, the only player in the entire field to rock the Samwise Gamgee combo. Now, we've seen iterations of this before, and then we've also seen other creature-based combo decks that utilizes Yawgmoth, for example, as a value engine. And this tries to kind of mash all of them together. The innovation of, hey, a Johnny plus Goblin Bombardment is an awesome combo. Why don't I put it into my deck already? Just because, you know, I already need kind of that ungated sacrifice outlet for my combo anyways. It stretches your mana base a little bit thin, but it is a very, very powerful combination.
Speaking of sacrifice outlets, we've got a Sylvan Safekeeper here from Bailey.
And I wonder, did Jake mulligan down to 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
right.
You got it.
And he got the Yawgmoth Thoughtseize, so all he has is a Sylvan Safekeeper with 2 lands in hand. One of those lands can get maybe a Dryad Arbor, but that's it.
It's not going anywhere.
Oh. Yeah, Jake would love to find something like a birthing ritual here just to kind of get the ball rolling. Gilded Goose, certainly a fine card here, but not really putting a ton of pressure here. And, you know, JED's deck has access to a ton of interaction, right? You have Hand Disruption and Thoughtseize, you have Solitude, and, you know, once we get it to the sideboard, he has 3 copies of Wrath of the Skies, which seems like an amazing card in this matchup.
Yeah, all interaction so far for Jean-Emmanuel. He had the Thoughtseize, and he also has Solitude, March of Otherworldly Light, and Force of Negation. The only thing now, which he just drew, is Goryo's Vengeance as something that doesn't actually interact.
Yeah, so has the Goryo's Vengeance, though, but missing a few pieces, right? You don't have the legendary creature in the graveyard or a way to put it into the graveyard, so going to be really leaning on some of those interactive spells here. So, you know, Jake might have a little bit of time here just to try to find some threats, but right now it's only 1 damage coming in.
Cards in hand?
Yeah, he cannot be feeling good about the way that this has gone.
Yeah, it's like
5 cards in hand. He looks down at Windswept Heath and goes, must be nice.
That's a lot of cards. Surveil does not need the Cauldron Familiar. In fact, you want it in the graveyard. Chose not to return it to the battlefield here. That is a food in play. And, ooh, finds a Birthing Ritual, so that's really big. That allows you to kind of turn these 1-mana creatures and helps you dig for perhaps Samwise Gamgee. Now, JE does have Force of Negation, doesn't have the blue card, but does have a Solitude here. But yeah, huge, huge find here. JED does have a March of Otherworldly Light and that Solitude, but would have to exile it. So actually, JED's hand is just not that strong either here.
No, it's all interaction, but kind of not really what you want at this point.
Now, he can fetch for a Surveil land, and if he gets very lucky, can certainly hit a Legend and Surveil that into the graveyard. So if you hit an Atraxa or a Gristlebrand or something along those lines, no Gristlebrand here, just an Atraxa, that would be incredibly powerful.
Sure.
All right. Now we return to Familiar and use that as the card that you sacrifice here to the Birthing Ritual, perhaps.
16. Maybe I have. Did you get the last City of Brass ping? It's possible I missed it. It's possible I have the wrong life total.
That is City of Brass there that Jake has as that opening land.
Yeah, not a
Whenever it becomes tapped, you take a damage.
Right. Not a commonly played land. Mana fixing in Modern is so strong with the combination of the fetches and duels. But when you add that 4th color for Goblin Bombardment, it is nice to have 1 or 2 copies of a land that just gives you all the colors.
Move to end step.
He's going to go to end step here and trigger the birthing ritual, or at least try to.
Yeah, you're at 12.
All right, shocking here.
I mean,
Probably
John
getting a-
Emmanuel is down to 12 somehow.
Right. Yeah, getting the birthing ritual here, exiling the solitude here.
Yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
make the march a little bit cheaper.
JED does go down to 12, and his hand basically is nothing here. So, I mean, there is some damage that can come in here. Did Jake not attack with the Sylvan Safekeeper?
It looks like no.
Okay, was afraid of. What was he afraid
What is
of?
it?
I don't see a flash creature. Maybe I'm missing something here.
Yeah, but he did say go to end step, right?
Right?
He wanted
he wanted to
trigger
go
the
to end
birthing
step.
ritual.
So the Sylvan Safekeeper certainly, I mean, that's a point. I guess maybe you're trying to represent a Court of Calling, but he doesn't have one. Doesn't fetch for a Dryad Arbor either. I feel like you want to just start putting some pressure here, getting some damage through.
Combat.
Looks like Jake is very concerned about some kind of creature coming in here. But, I mean, you mulligan the 5, and your opponent has a bunch of cards. You kind of need to attack.
Right, you don't really have a choice.
Okay,
Just a
keeping that
familiar
back.
down to 11. And it's just
Yeah.
Temple Garden go. Oh, Jean-Emmanuel certainly has been given a fair bit of time to get something
Right.
rolling.
Just a little extra damage here.
Now he wants what, a discard spell?
Yeah, Faithful Mending. Get that into the graveyard would be nice. Or, of course, just blind flipping an Atraxa here. Or just even a Psychic Frog, right? Just anything to get this going. That is a land.
That's a land.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Psychic Frog or Faithful Mending would be fantastic here. There's a Psychic Frog.
There it
All
is.
right, and now Jake doesn't really have
Wow.
any way to kind of push damage through here. But if he does top, can he? I guess if you top deck Samwise, you do have, yeah, Force of Negation doesn't work there, right?
No.
So if you top deck Samwise Gamgee, but you don't have the ungated sacrifice effect to actually just kill JED, you would need the bombardment or a Viscera Seer or something along those lines.
JD sits and awaits his fate.
Yeah, this is a big turn here for Jake Bailey. Can he find something to run out here? You know, even an Endurance off the top would be nice, right? And, oh, that is a Goblin Bombardment. JD's at 10.
Wait, there's your sacrifice outlet.
There is the Sacrifice Outlet.
Still
so
needs Samwise.
You
but
still need the Samwise.
15.
But now, I mean, you could even potentially get a Dryad Arbor. That's another thing you can sacrifice if you like. You do have the City of Brass that you can utilize to tap for red mana here. So just having any number of creatures in play certainly helps you just whittle JED's life total down. But of course, we know that JED has the ability to gain a bunch of life back next turn with the Atraxa and the Goryo's Vengeance. If he can find an Ephemerate, I mean, he's just going to have a completely full grip.
JD looks ready to pounce here.
Combat.
Okay. I'm assuming JD's just going to block here. You're at 10 life.
Yeah.
JD thinking, can I afford to just take the 1 here?
I mean, I guess it's the same amount of damage either way.
Right, because there's the food token in play, you can get the Cauldron Familiar back onto the battlefield. So it takes the 1 here. Jake deciding whether or not he wants to run out this bombardment.
2 cards in hand, 3. 3.
I mean, the nice thing is if you get your opponent to Force of Negation this Goblin Bombardment, then they're not going to have the ability to,
14 to 9.
Goryo's Vengeance, right? So running it out here, this represents at least 3 damage in play, plus the Cauldron Familiar, drain 1, and you sack that as well. So that's 5 damage.
With Jean-Emmanuel at 9.
Right. And if this resolves, if you keep the Gilded Goose back, if you Goryo's Vengeance the Atraxa, you can block with the Gilded Goose and sack it to the Goblet Bombardment so that the lifelink doesn't happen. But it looks like we are just trying to main phase make a food.
We should speed up a little.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to pass turn back over.
Right.
Big turn here for Jean-Emmanuel, though.
Yeah, the bombardment was a very, very annoying card for JED because he was kind of anticipating gaining the 7 life here from the Atraxa. Still going to go for it here because, of course, you do get to draw a ton of cards. And you could just find a removal spell for the Gilded Goose somehow. Of course, there is a Sylvan Safekeeper in play.
And there it is. He puts Goryo's Vengeance on the
Right.
stack. It's going to be targeting Atraxa Grand Unifier, and boom, it is now on the battlefield.
That's half of it. Well, that's a kind of a miss. But there is a Solitude and a Faithful Mending here. But remember, the Sylvan Safekeeper will be able to protect any of Jake's creatures. So just choosing the best options here.
Peaceful.
So
It's 4 this
hits.
time.
Okay.
That's probably about average.
Yeah. We're kind of getting to that point where JD might just be interested in just getting to 5 lands and just casting Solitude to just have a life-linking creature to kind of buffer his life total. Really wanted to find an Ephemerate there just to
Yeah.
be able to flicker that Atraxa.
Didn't hit it, though.
Yeah, and certainly Atraxa going to be attacking here as it will die at the end of turn. And anytime you're facing against Goblin Bombardment, even the 2 life from the Faithful Mending will be relevant here.
Oh, absolutely. Especially at 9 life, Jake is very much doing math about, how can I whittle that down so that I can just sacrifice my whole board and have you dead.
Right.
But there does not seem to be a great way through at the moment.
Yeah, so what we're going to see here is JED attacking with the Atraxa here. Jake likely going to be blocking with the Goose, tapping, making a food, then sacrificing the Gilded Goose from the Goblin Bombardment to get that 1 point of damage in. The question is there a such scenario here where Jake has enough to just finish off JED here? Because remember, you can make a food, so that's 2 Cauldron Familiar triggers, right? So that's 2 extra points of damage. And then you sack the Familiar, so
Sure.
every cycle, that's 4 damage, and we already have a food in play.
Right.
Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink.
No train. Okay.
I'll attack with both.
Looks like Jake's just going to
I will
take it.
make the frog.
No way.
Your frog has one.
What did he say?
No, I think before blocks, JED is just making Psychic Frog go to
Okay.
the skies to draw the card.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so you make a food, then you sacrifice the
no, you
Goose to the
already-
bombardment.
Sorry, I already used it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm tapping
So
these
you're
2
at 13 already, or
I was at 15 to 14.
okay?
Make a food. I will shoot you for 1 before.
Shoot you for 1.
JED down to 8 life here.
Yes.
This is going to be a close one.
So this is right now, so this is at 8. You sack the 2 creatures, that's 6.
Okay.
And every Cauldron Familiar
Yeah, of course.
Damage.
cycle is 2 points of damage. So that puts JED effectively down to 2 life here. But we know that JED also has
Yeah.
Island Faithful Mending to gain 2 life.
Damage.
Sure.
3. I get.
He actually is
level
going to
top.
get 1 more counter thanks to a Thoughtseize being.
You could also Solitude your own Atraxa and just gain 7 life.
It's a lot of
If you
life.
feel like you're just going to die to the bombardment. Certainly an option here for JED too. Because the Solitude, it's not like it does anything against a person who has a Sylvan Safekeeper in play anyways.
Right.
So why not just pad your life total so you can't get bombarded out?
Mending.
Okay.
Gain 7.
Well, that
Yeah,
must not-
so
Oh,
now
you're
this
targeting
bombardment
Atraxa.
plan is just not going to work.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
This is going to completely derail that cutting it close plan that Jake Bailey was going for.
However, I mean, now we're in a spot here where if Jake can find Samwise Gamgee off the
Oh.
top, he's just going to win the game.
Oh, boy. That is a hold your breath moment for Jean-Emmanuel Depraz. He
Yeah.
plays his land and passes the turn.
Wow,
Can
okay.
Jake find it?
Yeah, Court of Calling won't work. Birthing Ritual won't work because there's Psychic Frog plus Force of Negation here. But if you just naturally top deck Samwise Gamgee, that would get it done.
What did he draw?
Combat.
Start things off by attacking for 2.
Okay, okay.
Okay, that's the easy part. Oh, just a Haywire Might.
Go ahead.
Nothing to do
No,
with it.
yeah, that doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, he wanted to try to rip the namesake card for his deck. Wasn't able to do so.
Right. And now JED gets to.
Does he get to hit with this frog again?
I imagine we're going to be exiling cards again. You don't want to just have the Haywire Might chump block and fling with the Goblin Bombardment. 3 damage coming in.
I'm at 8. Yeah.
And JED has the mana to actually play Psychic Frog and hard cast Force of Negation here.
Oh, very nice.
So I imagine if he had, yeah, he's got the blue source, so yeah.
Yeah.
So now double Frog, hard cast Force of Negation. So still looking pretty good here, but again, Samwise Gamgee off the top.
Yeah, he has.
There's 4 copies of that card in the deck.
Another top deck at it. Can he find it?
Just a Misty Rainforest.
Wow.
All right.
So Haywire Might into Misty.
So
not what he
JD's
wanted.
currently at 4 damage. He drew. So he does technically have lethal here, right? Oh, no,
Does
you
he?
don't because you have the food.
Yeah, the
that
food
you have to
can
fight
just
through the
change
food
it.
tokens
Yeah.
and the College of Familiar. So
Still a rough
yeah,
spot.
but drew a pending off the top here, so that gets the Goblin Bombardment. So now
13?
Samwise Gamgee is no longer an out.
Wow, Door really seems to be closing
Right.
on Jake
Yeah,
Bailey
Jake
here. as
had
we-
3-ish turns there
Seriously.
to just find that Gamgee.
and Jean-Emmanuel Depraz has kind of methodically worked his way through this board.
Right,
A little bit of extra help
right.
from these frogs, too.
Yeah, might give the 1-2. Oh, no, actually giving just that one. Right,
No blocks.
attacking with the 3-4 here, so Jake down to 5. So JED does getting closer to lethal here, but of course have to grind through the food tokens as well. And has double Force of Negation up now. Not a lot of great draws left here for Jake now that the Goblin Bombardment's out of play.
This is right when Samwise will show up, right? No, it's actually just another land.
Yeah.
Yikes. This game's really kind of fallen off a cliff here under Jake Bailey as Jean-Emmanuel Depraz continued to push his advantage.
Yeah, this was the game I feel like Jake really needs to win
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it just gets worse.
Oh,
JD is
really?
effectively playing an Esper combo-y control deck,
Sure.
and then he can just turn it to a full control deck after sideboard.
He can just gear it up
Negation.
for all the great
Yeah,
sideboard cards that he wants. Here comes
the classic
Yeah.
Riddler Frog
Best
combination.
Friends Forever.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh my
An
goodness.
Ephemerate, too.
And
Holy
the Ephemerate,
smokes.
and has the Force of Negation to cast here as well. Now Jake can potentially go up to 11 life here, off the food tokens. So JD doesn't quite have a lethal attack here,
This frog.
But he
Yeah.
can set up a
Yep.
2-turn
Right.
clock
but
and leave up Force of Negation as a backup plan.
yeah, but JD in a commanding position here.
This.
Yeah.
He's going to discard the Faithful
Yeah.
Amenity once again, go back down to 1 card, and that's going to allow him to get 2 cards
Right.
thanks to the QR code there.
Another Riddler
Jeez. I mean,
and a consign to memory here.
how much can he get through for us?
Yeah,
Like,
it is a lot. I feel like it's going to be tough to get to 11, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, this is 7 damage from both the frogs, 3 cards in hand. That would be 10 damage. You can also sack the Haywire Might to target your own food and then sack the food, and you would gain 2 extra life from the Haywire Might.
and Jake's effectively
Yeah.
at 11.
Yeah. Okay.
And it looks like that's going to do it. So
Right.
Jean-Emmanuel Depraz is going to pick up game number 1. Again, kind of methodically moved his way through that
Yeah.
game. And then once it hit the tipping point, it looked like he was in full control.
Did JD keep a one-lander here?
17.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, down to 5 cards maybe?
Play Vex.
5-card one-lander.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
And Vexing Bubble card out of the sideboard here from Jake Bailey. Turns off the Force of Negations and Solitudes from JED's deck.
JD plays Island, but he has not found a second land
Oh,
yet.
this might be quick here. I
Jake
mean,
doesn't know it.
yeah, JD, yeah, he was kind of leaning on this Solitude here. He was probably thinking, hey, maybe Solitude plus Ephemerate if I find a Plains is my path to victory here. But now, I mean, JD needs to find a Godless Shrine just to get out that Psychic Frog or perhaps get closer to being able to run out the Wrath of the Skies.
Play a Sam.
Well, there's Samwise.
Yeah.
You can go ahead. Okay. I'm just making sure.
Piece 1 of the 3-card combo here. You have the Court of Calling in hand as well. I can get you the other piece. Oh, and he does have the Goblin Bombardment, but don't think he has a way to cast it yet. So JED.
And that is a missed land drop there for JD.
That is rough.
And it's an island, too. Oof.
I mean, to be fair, this is what Javier said he would do. Mulligan to 6. Mulligan to 6, keep loose.
It loose.
Keep loose.
Yeah, look at his hand, though. He's
Yeah.
got 2 double white spells, although one of them solitude.
Right.
And then 4 other white
Yeah.
spells.
Are we going to sack this Samwise, or we just keep it in play?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Wow, this
you
is
get to look
super
first.
rough.
Yeah, you get to look first and see if you can find something better than Samwise here.
This feels like a game 3 incoming soon.
Yeah, unless JED can find
What does
a
he
land
want most?
this
Just a
turn.
Just a plains?
Yeah, but you can't get a land into play, right? Off the birthing ritual, you can just get creatures.
Trigger.
Oh, a Johnny. I mean, certainly with the Goblin Bombardment, if you can find that red source,
Yeah.
you know, that can certainly run away with the game. Increase the clock by 1. Needs a land here.
Back over to Jean-Emmanuel. Can he find a land, or is it
Fetch land.
more or less game?
Yeah.
Oh, go
Oh, and he has to go to discard. Cleanup step.
Yeah, Jake. I mean, if Jake can just find a City of Brass or a fetch land here, would be
combat.
huge.
Yeah, the
'Cause-
cleanup step does not lose often.
No, I mean, Jake, to be fair, is also just on 2 lands here.
Yeah,
So-
but he seems to be humming right along.
Yeah, and there's a Samwise, and I mean, this is just
Move to instant.
a decent clock here. 5 damage coming in. We have another Birthing Ritual trigger here. If you find a 1-drop, you can sack the token and flip the Ajani if you'd like, but you kind of feels like you just want to put maximum pressure here. Oh, no, but actually
Trigger.
going for the sack.
The familiar.
Notably, Cauldron Familiar, also a cat for the Planeswalker side of Ajani.
Transform the agent.
Oh, yeah.
You take 1, I get
14, 15 the other way.
1. Yep.
It's a bit of a stray.
15,
Or the
But
flip
it'll
the
work.
flip effect as well. So I mean, this is JD also missing his land drops, but now I mean you have to deal with a Planeswalker, and Wrath of the Skies does not kill Planeswalkers.
And
that's
he
an
just drew a
Atraxa.
Trox. I mean, it is kind of cute to be
Yeah.
able to put it into the yard, but
But you need to top deck Goryo's Vengeance and a land.
and a black source at the same time. It's going to be a little tough.
Yeah.
And he just put a Trax in the
See
yard.
that Ajani putting a counter on all your cats.
14 to 15 life totals, but
Okay.
that is not telling the full
Ooh,
story.
And this is it, right?
Play safe.
You have the Safekeeper here, and you have the Bombardment, and now you have the full combo here. Samwise Gamgee, Cauldron Familiar, and Goblin Bombardment, assuming you can just go get a Stomping Ground off the Verdant Catacombs.
Okay, trigger.
And what's the end result of that? Infinite?
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to end step here. Wait, what is happening here? Did he not use the Ajani as well?
Trigger, get a food.
Did he activate Ajani?
I don't think so. Well, I don't. I
it-
mean,
it didn't
in fact, no,
matter.
he did not. There's no cat.
Right, it
There's
didn't
no-
matter, but that's very odd.
That was a weird one.
Yeah.
But it turns out that Jake was so far ahead of Jean-Emmanuel.
matter.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get a nice fair fight here like game 1?
No, I mean, JD's, okay, got a 2-lander here. Couple of Ephemerates, though, and nothing to go with it, right? So this is something, you know, oh, never mind. I take it back. That's a Solitude here, so JED just needs Jake to play out another creature here, and he can play Solitude, blink it, and kill 2 creatures.
And be left with the 3/2 lifelinker after all.
Right?
There's
Well,
the
Jake
familiar.
continues to draw that 1 copy of Sylvan Safekeeper, but might just run out
16.
Birthing Ritual here instead.
You took 4. and
Oh,
you
yeah, I'm bad at math. Sorry.
Yeah.
17, 15.
17, 18.
JD might be okay with just letting
You are
1
correct.
trigger resolve off the Birthing Ritual because he does have a prismatic ending that he can use to deal with the ritual here. I guess he could also play a Johnny.
And there's the birthing ritual.
Yeah,
Go to end step.
yeah. I mean, this is one of those tricky spots where you go, am I okay just trying to do the Solitude thing? Do I just Solitude away the Cauldron Familiar, use prismatic ending, and hope my Solitude plus Psychic Frog is good enough to go all the way? Wait. I thought JD had a second land in hand. He just doesn't.
He doesn't have a
This
second
is
land.
another 1-lander.
Oh, wow.
Oh, jeez.
Resolve.
So now your the prismatic ending is just not even going to work, right? You need to find a second land here. So
Yeah, so that kind of forces this issue.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
JD's only play here is just, I hope my Solitude gets it done here. Wow.
You go to 18.
He is going to get to keep it around.
Needs a black source off the top. I mean, if you can get that frog in play, you're looking okay. But you need to draw it this turn.
These mana issues have cursed Jean-Emmanuel.
Oh, excuse me. He was on a mold of 5.
Okay,
It sounds like.
so that makes
a lot
sense.
more sense, of course. And that is rough. But no land here for JED. Just a Solitude, and Jake Bailey has a handful of action here.
You see the prismatic ending there for him.
Right?
Rough.
We see a Johnny Nakatl Pariah, Sylvan Safekeeper to protect your creatures here with that Birthing Ritual.
Should still be exiled because you didn't cast it on rebound.
They're both exiled.
They're both exiled.
Yeah. I'll
JD,
take
of course,
2 on that.
choosing not to cast Ephemerate on the rebound, given that there were no other targets for the Solitude. Probably want to lead with the Safekeeper for protection. And now you get the Ajani. Sacrifice the token, flip the Ajani for value.
Yeah. Trigger.
I mean, this is a nice deck here from Jake.
It is.
Fair, but with a infinite combo is kind of my favorite thing.
Right. Like Ajani just doesn't really do anything in terms of helping you progress your combo. But if you're already playing Goblin Bombardment and you're in the colors, this just gives you kind of that plan B aspect where you just play creatures and just play what you believe to be the best cards in the format, and that can get it done.
Yeah, you put your core combo pieces in, and then it's a matter of, well, what are the best possible things left that I can do?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, JD also does a similar thing, right? Where he kind of has that fair game plan of Psychic Frog, Quantum Riddler, and Interaction, and then he's got the Ephemerate side of the combo and also the Goryo's Vengeance side. But when you're on a mold of 5, well, and missing a bunch of your land drops, I mean, your opponent could be playing a standard deck, right? And it doesn't really matter.
No, I mean, Jean-Emmanuel's looking at this like, I have not got to play a meaningful game in the last 2.
Right.
And this one seems to be slipping away as he's drawn Atraxa for the turn. Rather than a land, he's drawn a 7 mana spell. This is
Yeah, it's a little dicey.
This is what you would prefer to avoid. As you said, though, man, if you can find a black source, all of a sudden Psychic Frog comes down.
Now on the flip side here, Jake, I guess he doesn't have the Cauldron Familiar just yet here to be able to fully, because he does have the Viscerus here as the ungated sacrifice effect. So if you can just find a Cauldron Familiar, one already exiled, as you can see, from the Solitude. That's a Chord of Calling.
Oh, there's Core. That'll find one.
That's a Chord of Calling, right? You can go Viscera Seer here and then Chord for 1, and that sets up the lethal. And JED has nothing in hand here.
Trigger.
So the only thing JD could have here is a Force of Negation to counter the Chord of Calling. But in order to play around that, you can cast Chord of Calling on your opponent's turn, right? Because Force of Negation is only free when your opponents cast a spell on their turn.
That's right.
And right now, I mean, there's no real reason. So yeah, I like this. I like the patience here from Jake going, look, I can try to just cast this on your upkeep so that you can't play Force of Negation, and then I have Samwise Gamgee, Viscera Seer, and Cauldron Familiar in play.
Really smart, because that is the type of card that could easily be stuck in Jean-Emmanuel's hand. And the only way he can get out of this is by casting something for free.
Right.
So Jake really kind of playing the boa constrictor role and just slowly squeezing the advantage.
Because removal doesn't work.
And Jean-Emmanuel just has no options here.
Yeah, with Safekeeper in play.
Hold on.
Upkeep.
On your upkeep.
Yeah, on your upkeep.
There it is.
And there's the Chord of Calling. Go get yourself a Cauldron Familiar.
You probably want to do it for more than 0. Oh, is he getting a Yawgmoth? He's doing it for 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
First off, does it resolve? And the answer is yes, it does.
Perhaps just going for the value angle here. Nope.
There it is.
Yeah, remember, you can just get 4 or less.
Yes. And there's a Cauldron Familiar.
There it is.
This is the combo we have come here to see today. And he says, do I have you?
Let's wait for the last one.
Yeah, do you have a way to exile my Cauldron Familiar at instant speed, but with multiple food in play,
you can redo
the effect here.
So that's actually pretty robust.
Right.
I'll return the game.
I mean, once you get all 3 cards down.
Yeah, I mean, you can see on JD's face,
one, I
it's
gain
like,
one.
Yeah.
this is it.
And basically, Jake is doing what we call demonstrating a
Continue that
loop,
Right.
where he says, and I'll do that as many times as it takes to kill you. And Jake Bailey with Samwise Gamgee combo takes down Jean-Emmanuel Depraz. Now, I will say, Jean-Emmanuel had severe mana issues in both games 2 and 3, and there's nothing much you can do. You see the shrug from him there.
That's all you can do in spots like that, right? I mean, you go into that third game. The second one, maybe that was slightly risky, right? Because I believe it was a hand of 6 cards. But in the third game, I mean, you mull the 5, you got Solitude Ephemerate with the 1-lander. You just kind of got to keep and just hope you get there. But you just know you have a huge uphill battle to climb, hoping to find some lands there, but couldn't. And then, of course, then we just kind of got that non-game there.
Yeah, just did not line up for Jean-Emmanuel. He's going to take a tough loss this round. We're going to take a short break here from Amsterdam. When we come back, we'll be gearing up for Nick Talbot versus Alexander Rosdahl. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to coverage here at Pro Tour Marvel Superheroes. Wow, take a look at that. That is the Mana stage here at the MagicCon, where we have game nights happening, live and in person. So many amazing things to do out at a MagicCon event. There's really something for everybody. If you happen to be somebody who's really into high-level competitive play, you'd like to try to find the absolute best way to approach something like this, you're going to be happy here with us at the Pro Tour. That's Paul Chian. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe. Thank you so much for joining us. And we've got more action here, including some more spicy builds.
Yeah.
We've got Hollow One.
Hollow One.
In the hands of Nick Talbot here. He's from Australia, as you can see there. Alexander Rosdahl from Sweden is on a more traditional build.
Sure.
Boros Energy. Haven't seen Hollow One in a while. It had its time, but
right there. You know, I remember when it first kind of broke out. It did top 8 at the Pro Tour, and it looked really, really strong. But of course, Modern has evolved a lot since then here. But hey, you know, the deck also looks a little bit different here. You know, going up against kind of the traditional aggro strategy in Boros Energy. There are some fun sideboard cards here from Alexander Rosdahl. As you can see, he's already up a game here. But the one card that I want to highlight is 2 copies of Sanctifier and Vec in the sideboard. It's a 2-mana 2/2 creature with pro black and pro red. And if a black or red permanent would be put into the or card not on the battlefield will be put into a graveyard, exile it instead.
Okay.
So any black or red card that would hit the graveyard just gets exiled immediately.
Nethergoyf to start things off here for Nick.
Okay, so currently a 1/2. It's a Guide of Souls.
As you mentioned, Paul, Alexander already up a game here in the matchup, so we are in the sideboarded games.
Yeah, it does look like it's perhaps a bit of a tricky matchup here. There's also 2 copies of Thraben Charm main, which just exiles all the cards in your graveyard, right? And this is a card that does care about returning things from the graveyard. You have cards like, Detective's Phoenix, which of course does a lot of work. So we'll see how this plays out. So Street Wraith in the graveyard here for Nick Talbot.
It's going to take 2 from his Blood Crypt.
Okay, and just
Down to 13.
passes here. Yeah, with Street Wraith, you are taking a ton of damage here.
And let's see what he wants to do with this mana.
Okay,
Pyroclasm.
yeah, because this is an attack for 3. So, just using that to start pressuring Alexander's life total here.
Yeah, and the timing does work. Layers, whatever, however it works,
Right.
it does work out that the Nethergoyf will see that Pyroclasm.
Right. So if it was a 1/2, it
Exactly.
would just be a 2/3.
Yes, as it stands, it's big enough anyway.
Right. Yeah, if Alex does happen to have the Sanctifier in Vec, would be quite nice here, right? You can just exile the black card out of the graveyard, shrink the Nethergoyf, and just it
Just
having
have a brick
protection.
wall.
And it just having protection from black, being able to.
Yeah, that probably hits a whole lot of decks, huh?
I mean, you can't kill it if you're on Nick's side.
right.
Right, so. Yeah, also pretty effective against Storm, right? Ruby Storm, where it's something that allows you to put pressure on the battlefield, and your opponent can't cast Past in Flames.
I guess Nick can just cast Hollow One. And
I mean, that's of course the other side, right?
Yeah.
If you can manage to get Burning Inquiry with a Hollow One in your hand, that's kind of the quote-unquote combo that this deck is trying to assemble here.
yeah, this feels like a blast from the past.
Oh, yeah.
Hollow One. This is not one of the top decks in the format, though it was at one time.
Yeah, the last time I
Remember when Ken Yukihiro
Ken
brought it?
Yukihiro, I
Yeah.
remember. I was paired with Riley Knight for that one in the top 8. I
Never heard of
remember
him.
both of us just losing our mind in the top 8 because Ken put like 3 Hollow Ones in play on turn 2 or something. And we're like, what the heck is happening? Yeah.
That seems right for Ken. Okay, so Nethergoyf continues to chip in. You see the Guide of Souls replacement there for Rosdahl. And then, what is he playing, a Surveil land or something?
Yeah, it looks like an Elegant Parlor here.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
slowly but surely for both of these players.
Yeah, it's just going to be hard to race, especially if that Guide of Souls is just active, right? Because you're just going to play creatures here, and all you have is that Nethergoyf. Really curious what Nick Talbot's working with here. I generally expect more explosive turns when you
For
see somebody's playing
sure.
Hollow One. This is kind of more of a Nethergoyf control start.
Yeah. That does happen sometimes when the sideboards come in. Sometimes the complexion of the deck can change quite a bit. That might be what we're seeing here.
Yeah. If you're concerned about graveyard hate, maybe you just trim a bunch of cards to make your deck a little less explosive, but able to grind a little bit more into the late game.
Yeah, those kind of all-in decks like the Hollow One deck have a really cool move that they can make where they can go to a more fair game plan and kind of sidestep the sideboard cards. And then the players have to guess which one you're going to do.
Exactly.
Because sometimes people will say, you're just going to sidestep this. I'm going to bring in a bunch of removal and fair stuff. And then you just keep the broken Hollow One plan and just bust it up.
I am just curious how strong this slightly controlling strategy works against a Boros energy deck. You do have the Pyroclasms, and certainly Pyroclasm would be great here if Nick has a second copy to play.
But man, one thing that Boros has always shown us is it is very resilient.
And actually, there's only one Pyroclasm in the sideboard. There is a Rough and Tumble, so I suppose that would do a similar thing.
Is that Orcish Bowmasters?
That is an Orcish Bowmasters here, but might not be interested in killing the token. We'll see where this 1 damage goes.
Yeah, you always have to be careful with the Johnny.
Right. Yeah, it just goes to the face.
He went upstairs. Okay.
Yeah. Rakdos midrange.
That is, if you did not put the title on there for me, Paul, I would just say, what is this?
Yeah.
Orcish Bowmasters Nethergoyf. I mean, this looks a lot like the Cube draft.
Yeah, I do see a Hollow One in hand, but of course, not able to play it unless you can discard a few cards to get the discount here. I see, it looks like perhaps a moon shadow in Nick's hand here as well. Oh, we are cycling the hollow one.
Okay.
Sure.
Do what you gotta
Hey,
do.
that puts an artifact in your graveyard for the Nether Glyph.
Oh, sure. Yeah, again, not exactly plan A here for Talbot.
Definitely not here. And on the flip side of things, the Boros energy deck, we're already on 2 energy, so if you want to start getting it for a bunch of damage, just needs to play out 1 more creature, go to 3, then utilize the Guide of Souls here. Oh, Detective's Phoenix here, and we are bestowing.
So targeting.
It does
Yeah.
look like Nick has transferred
All
over
right.
to a much more fair game plan. I mean, these are
Yeah.
all really high quality creatures that he's
Absolutely.
playing.
I mean, this is, you're putting +2/+2 on haste onto something here.
Yeah.
And I mean, Alex is already down to 11 life.
Yeah.
Alex representing Galvanic Discharge here, so debating whether or not he wants to fire it off now. Although if you have the discharge, you can, if it's targeting the Bowmasters, you can just let it resolve, let him attack with it first, and then use the discharge. Because if you kill the Bowmasters in response now, the Phoenix still enters the battlefield, and you can hit for 2 in the air. Oh, it was targeting the Nether Glyph. And this is an attack for 4, it looks like. Wait, no, 5, right?
5.
Artifact, creature, land, and then the Detective's Phoenix. So 5 damage, and Alex is now down to 6 here. Right. And there is the discharge here. Lots of energy. So did Alex bring in something like a Wrath of the Skies? Would that perhaps be good enough here? Although you kind of lose your whole board.
Yeah, it's a
Doesn't
weird
seem like the
card
type
to-
of card that you might want to bring in. So
Right.
probably better to just rely on spot removal in a matchup like this.
And this is where if you're Nick, you want Alexander to draw some narrow sideboard card that doesn't affect the board.
Right.
And go, haha, no
Yeah.
hollow ones for you, you know, and he's like, sure.
Yeah.
So far, all we've seen of the hollow one deck is just one hollow one get cycled.
Yes. I mean, Alex has been missing land drops, so you do know he's working with action here. With all the energy in the world.
Comments.
Maybe just, oh, getting aggressive
Holy
here.
smokes.
Guide of Souls going to the skies here, and this is 6 damage coming in, so.
Yeah. Do you want to race?
Yeah,
3,
putting
4,
Nick
5,
very
6.
close to a 2-turn clock. You could just jump with the 1/1, right?
Yes.
But I guess you don't want to block the 2/1, so if you did, you would just be blocking the 1/2, so you would only be preventing 1 damage. Maybe a Ranger Captain? No, a Seasoned Pyromancer.
Spicy.
Yeah, you gain 3 life here, and you give yourself a bunch of blockers here.
Charm.
Yeah, because he did actually discard
I'm
2
gonna gain 3.
spells.
Right.
9.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 energy.
This board state escalated
elementals?
very quickly here for Alex.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you have that unchecked Guide of Souls, right? Just
Yeah.
anything that you can run out here.
Yeah, he played one early, it got killed, but there was a replacement the next
Right.
turn, and it is stuck around.
Yeah, this seems like a pretty tough matchup here
Okay.
for the Hollow One deck. Doesn't find a land, though, so can't go land represent discharge here. Is there a way for Nick to find the final few points of damage to kind of close things out? The Nether Glyph currently representing 4 damage.
5
And it is in the air, right?
It is in the
So-
air, but in Rosdal's at 9. Is there a way that you can kind of sneak 5 extra points through? They have to all be in the air because you're just not going to have enough on the ground.
Looks like he's considering another hollow one.
Is it going to be another Hollow One cycle?
think it
I
might
feel like
be.
that's not where you want to be in Modern, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, if Nick can close the door on this game
Might need.
this turn, he really wants to. This is going to get much, much worse for him next turn.
Yeah, I mean, he might have to cycle it and try to find the 1 copy of Rough and Tumble that he has left in his deck, because he's already played the Pyroclasm. And if you cast Rough Tumble, you at least get to kill all the ground creatures, and all you're then left with is the Guide of Souls, which is currently sitting at a 3/4, 5/6 next turn.
I'm going to set the whole one.
That's
Yep.
what he's going to do. Hollow one's going to get cycled.
Lady or outs, I suppose, and that is just a basic mountain.
That may be the tipping point here in favor of Alexander Rosdahl.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Talbot has a lethal attack here. Nick might have to keep that Nether Glyph back on defense here just to block the flyers. Because if you attack and you block a Seasoned Pyromancer, that's just going to be lethal, unless you have a removal spell in hand. Yeah?
Yeah, he's just got to pass the turn back. And I think if you're Alexander, that looks like a white flag being raised in surrender, perhaps, because this is not plan A for Nick Talbot.
Bombardment. Oh, yeah, I mean, that should
Goblin Bombardment's going to do it, and Alexander picks up the game win here. And he's now 5-2. But Nick Talbot's still fighting it and going to be scrapping it out for day 2 in the next round to see if he can get there with Hollow One.
Yeah, I mean, certainly that's not what you're anticipating when you are playing the Hollow One deck. I feel like if you kind of, I mean, I don't know exactly kind of how he sideboarded there, but certainly that was kind of more of a mid-range plan. And I just think if you want to play kind of a creature combat style matchup, the Boros Energy deck's just going to be kind of superior there. So maybe you just need to lean into the graveyard strategy and hope to kind of dodge those cards. Curious to see, it might just be a bad matchup as well. But, I mean, still 4-3, made day 2, and still has the chance to kind of close out the day with a positive record.
Oh, that's right. All right, well, we're going to take a short break here from Amsterdam. We've got one more round to bring you. It's Modern. It'll be at the news desk. We'll be back with more right after this.